rest. Come in, shall we? Shall we? Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom! Ooh, 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 ooh. It's in your face. That rise, that shine, that light of life in our faces all the time. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the most is Marky Saint. This is Saints Addiction, aka Mostly Saints, aka Hacking Happy, aka every day I go live so I can reach, preach, and teach to people how to hack happy, man. This morning marijuana motivation ain't no different than the others, except for this time I'm learning from other people. People that sell book clubs to fucking Oprah Winfrey and are Harvard scientists and trying to make it all make sense to me. If you are trying to find happy, you came to the right show. And then you went to follow and subscribe below. And then you went over to Mostly Saints and gave that a fucking hit too. And then you went and hit the subscribe button, leg out, let's go. It comes to me, bro, that I've been chasing happy most of my life. Like most of us, every one of us, nobody wants suffering, everybody wants happiness, and maximize that happiness. I always try to find a way to sprinkle a little bit more dopamine on my happy, on my memory, on my moment. And in some moments in my life, I've alleviated that. I've had so many really extremely cool moments, like being on the Great Wall of China, being on Machu Picchu, walking around Angkor Wat, extreme moments. And then there'll be a moment of depression. Like I was depressed when I went to La Sagrada Familia in Spain. I've been wanting to see this 400-year-old fucking cathedral being made, and it's not even finished yet. And I knew it wasn't going to be, and I knew of it. But to be there, and when I was there physically, I wasn't actually happy mentally. And that's a weird feeling. You go do something, and you're expecting it to give you that buzz, that feeling that you deserve something, or that you're getting repaid for all your hard work, or we make moments like, oh man, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to delay my gratification. I'm going to wait till I'm done with college. I'm going to wait till I lose that weight. And no wait waits. There is no time to wait. Every time we have time, every day is another opportunity to grow as an individual, not just in a soliloquy, not just in some kind of motivational speech, but literally it's time. It's this thing that we get evaporated around us at all times. We can just snap our fingers and time disappears. And you go, well, how happy was I? Well, when you're measuring it, like this guy was from Harvard, a professor saying, I'm 30% more happier than I was 5 years ago. I was like, who the fuck talks like that? Somebody that wrote it down. Somebody that identifies with themselves and was true with themselves. He's like, I'm not exactly a positive person. Which is fair to say. When you assess yourself, right, you have to take note and account for your behaviors. Why do I do this? Why do I do that? How did I end up here? And most of that has to do with just impulses. We're surrounded by a lot of energy. We are a lot of energy. We got chromosomes kicking ass. We got hormones kicking ass. And we got environment kicking our ass. And we want to know where our ass stands. It's hard to judge because the moment is happening. But for sure, when you look back, and I go over to some of your favorite moments, they're usually with people, right? They're usually during a holiday. Something has to pique our interest for it to dominate. If it's something negative, that's the first thing we're going to remember. Oh yeah, remember when the dog came in and ate the turkey off the Thanksgiving? That was 2009, wasn't it? Instead of I got the perfect present in 2010, my brain goes to the dog fucked it all up in the end. Do you remember? And Plastic Pocket Challenge, right? People always following me. But, when you need to leave the memory in your brain, some way, the way you planted it, the way that you saw that tree grow, or is it a pear, is it an apple, will always stay that way. Our brains hold positions. They hold emotions. If you want to think about it, try going the first time you fell off your bike, right? You're like, Mark, that was 15, 20 years ago, bruh. I haven't been on a bike in forever. But if I asked you to recall that memory, to drum it up outside of you and tell me how it feels or how it goes, you would know instantaneously. because it's happened to us in such a deep level that we can almost taste and feel that emotion the way it was processed since it first happened. Now, there's been 15 years past it, 20 years have gone by, and you'll still feel that way, like slided, especially women. They can never let it go. And here, when we don't let things go, right? When we keep that memory captured the way that we want to feel it, like in a file cabinet, it stays that way. It stays in that file cabinet exactly the way that you want it to be. Because as soon as you reach for it, you'll be like, yeah, he cheated on me. Or I lost. I didn't lose. I didn't lose like a boss. I just totally am lost. And in that, we'll have deep-rooted feelings. We'll have deep-rooted emotions that make us get all those electrons firing the same way, in the same neural pathway, on the same axiom that it did the first time it happened. Can you imagine that you had something so strong happen to you as a child that you still retain it as an adult? That we have these processes. Oh, there goes my buddy, bro. I didn't even see him. What's up, homie? That we have these processes that we developed inside of ourselves to say, hey, you know, this is my strategy for survival. I'm gonna make myself meek so everybody gets along. Or I'm gonna be boisterous so that everybody doesn't know that I'm scared. We posturize all the time. We philosophize all the time. We get inside of our minds. Let's get our homie a shot here. Go ahead, come on. We get inside of our minds and never never get to see our thoughts. They become emotions, and we think that they're thoughts, but we didn't process it that way. Yeah, let's go, bro. Let's go, bro. Let's go, bro. All right, man. Enjoy. And that's the hacking of the happiness. That I'm literally listening to Steve Jobs' last dying wish. And he said, nobody's going to know what kind of car you go in. And that's my favorite from my spiritual mentor, Terry Prince. He would say, no one knows what car you got there. We're all on the Titanic together. We're all going to sink together. And there doesn't matter how rich you are. If you're on that boat, you're going down with that boat. And all of us try to get a more square footage, more expensive car, and none of that keeps us happy. We compete with each other in this competition realm, but it doesn't increase our happiness in the happiness realm. To hack happy, you need to include people. You need to include suffering. These are the magic recipes. Fuck this guy already, bro. Like, everybody knows there's a little bit of, I had to get through something to have a great story. I had to survive something I never knew was possible for me to survive to make it happen in my life. And all that, even through the process of it, is my happiness. And when it's done, you'll get satisfaction, right? You'll get, what's the word? Pleasure and happy are two different things. I was saying yesterday. You'll get pleasure because you sacrifice something, right? Can you spell sacrifice? So if you sacrifice your time, maybe you gave up the winter so you could study for the summer, or maybe you started dieting, like Homeboy said, so he could have six-pack abs for the summer, and then come around winter, it all goes out the window. Our motivation leaves us, bro. Our motivation likes to go as soon as we go. We're on some fuck you shit, bro. We're on some, okay, guess what? It didn't work. Guess what? I'm going to do something different this time. I'm going to go and be a different outcome, right? Like, I want different energy to come outside of me. I want it to appear real to me. Now, both thoughts, both energies, both emotions are going to come real to us. They're going to come right in front of our face, and we're going to be like, interpret it. Is this a threat? Like I was saying, when you're judging things, you know, you're like, is this a threat? Am I a threat to myself? Like, with my own thoughts? Do I worry me incessantly? Do I keep no space in my mind to just be free? When I started this show, by the way, I've already done laps. I've been out here for almost an hour and a half, 2 hours. I've just been on the phone. X marks the spot. That's where I start the show, 10:10 in the morning. Here's where I chill by myself without the phone even touching me. And I needed that moment. I needed that moment, just like Alan Watts said, you know, we like to flood ourselves with all the information. We want sensation constantly. Get up, Turn the phone on. Boom, we're back on the dopamine train, baby. Let's go. There's no leaving it, but there's no happiness. And it's weird because you'll feel satiated, right? You'll feel like you covered something, like you're doing something. It's so subtle. Our habits, our dopamine, it's very slick. It's like sugar. Sugar finds its way in everything, bro. You'd be like, how is sugar in my bread, bro? Like, how did you make it? How did that make it on my plate? It happens, man. It's subtle. The subtlety of getting on some dopamine, the subtlety of just getting on your phone or getting on your bike. They're having way more fun because they're together. They're already on their bike. If they were on their bike just to go to work, it wouldn't be as much fun as being at play with your friends and doing something that day with them. Yep. We enjoy things way more when people are involved. We try to alleviate the people from it, right? Oh, people can hurt us. Oh, there's risk. Oh, I don't want to get in trouble. I told my friend, I'm like, I'm not even allowed to date anymore. I'm just horrible at it, right? I get into that mode, and guess what? I'm cutting myself off from the sauce. The sauce, the real motivation, let's get the morning motivation in. The sauce is really the boss, right? To be able to get a Saints Addiction cartridge, by the way, this is my disposable. To get one of these, you got to go to Telegram and ask for them properly. To get happy, you have to pre-program yourself with exercise. So now, but my buddy, the guy that was on the show was like, I just did leg day and I hate leg day, but I feel great right now, right? I don't want to get off the couch because that might look like work. I'd actually have to show up. And by showing up, I change the trajectory of everything. This is what I love about action, right, St. Shades? The action that we take will deliver us to a new destination, right? For sure, your habits are keeping everything the same. You're okay with it. Just like they said with the Elliot guy. He's like, take your shirt off. He said, you see this belly fat right here, bro? He's like, yeah. He's like, are you okay with it? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you must be, right? You must be okay with it if it is that way right now. You found a way to satiate yourself and keep it that way. Keep it the way that you operate. Keep that same attitude and keep that same outcome. Facts. And it just sucks because to hack our brain, to get out of it, you need to be around happier people. It's contagious. So is negativity. And over here at Saints Addiction, we turned our negatives into positives. I went and found me some mushrooms to hack me. Chase Hughes talks about, I wasn't a spiritual guy. I was all ego. And then I was always saying no to mushrooms. And then it unlocked him. It unlocked his ego. It made him feel more a part of everything. That I'm not separate from nature. I am nature. And I'm not separate from my friends. They are me and I am them. And the better quality of people that I keep will determine the better quality of mentality I have. So keep a bunch of negative motherfuckers around you. Guess what you're going to get? You already know. And then we go around for people that are contagious and be like, I want that. It could be at the grocery store attendant. It could be the valet. It could be somebody, just a bartender. I'm like, how's your day going? And you're just like, whoa. My friend's just called me now from Finland. He's an American living in Finland. He just called me and said, hey, how are you doing? And I was like, hey, bro, Finnish people are the most aito. A-I-T-O, aito. It means real. They're the most real. Whenever one calls me, a bunch of other call me, happy Merry Christmas, how you doing? What's up, boo-boo? You okay? And I'm like, this is on some Southern hospitality shit. This is on some New Orleans Creole shit where people really do check on you, but then they'll get petty. They'll disappear. They'll not talk to you because their feelings get hurt. That doesn't happen in Finnish culture. It's like whatever happens. That's already passed, but we're now friends. And that's what lasts, our friendship. The connection that we have isn't just, oh, I won't see you anymore. These are people that will see you for the rest of your life. And even if you're not around or even living there, you're a part of their lives. You're a part of their stories. And that's what makes your memories. For you to look back like your boy Steve Jobs, right? And sit there on your deathbed and say, it didn't matter how much extra square foot I had in my home. 2,000 to 200, it's who's in the home that matters. It doesn't matter what kind of car I drive, $300,000 car or $30,000 car. We all end up at the same destination at the same time. Nobody's getting there faster. And all those things that we hold true, we hold to be self-evident. Hear me now, feel me now. To love our lives. I love my life. You hear me? I love my life. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I hear him. Look at him. I think it's the construction guys. To love your life. To say, hey, man, I appreciate you showing up for me, Marky Saint. I appreciate you being there that day that I lost my mom and my grandma. And I didn't know him that well, you know, I really didn't. But I knew that I knew how to speak English. I knew that he was American, and I knew that he would need someone. So I hopped my ass on a fucking train, and I sat there by the lake, and I just quietly sat there just holding space. That's me. You know, I might be an asshole. I might swear you off. I might never talk to you again. I'm like that. But I'll give you the shirt off my back. I'll give you a leg up. I'll sit with you after your grandma and mom died within 1 month. I'll hold space. I can't always be maleficent. I can't always be magnanimous. I can't always be saintly, but I will be helpful. These are so tasty in the morning. I will be there. Yamo be there. I will show up even when it's hot, even when you're not. You know, that's where that's where it meant to him. So he said, he called me out of the blue just now before I started the show. I talked for a good half hour, but he was like, you were there for me in a hard moment. And I was just like, say nothing of it, right? Like, that's already passed, bro. Like, I would hope someone do it for me kind of thing. But the truth is, nobody's doing it for anybody. You know, we're calculating how much it costs. And do we want to even be a part of it, right? And most people, they'll be like, oh, you just got out of jail? Don't come near me. I don't want to smell like jail. I don't want to stay in jail. I don't even want to spell jail. You know what I mean? Like, peace. You look chaotic. And it does for a lot of the people. But we're looking for the helpers here, right? We're looking for the real happy. And that comes from your boy, good old Mr. Rogers, telling us all to be our own neighbor, to be helpful in that time of need, to run towards the enemy, run towards the gunfire, run towards the tragedy, and be of service, bro. Faith, family, friends, and service. That's your 4 hacks, bro. If you've been watching this long, to be happy. Notice I didn't say weed. Notice I didn't say sex. Notice I didn't say money, and I didn't say purchasing. Notice that. Let's bless up. And that's the truth of it. Because we live lies and we believe them. We'll eat them and conceive them. We'll believe what we're telling ourselves, but we won't tell ourselves better things. It's a weird dynamic to be a human being, but it's a tough sport. 80%, 60% is genetic. That means I'm already at a loss because my parents didn't know how to be a boss, didn't know how to convert their anxiety. My father would convert his anxiety into alcoholism. My mother would convert her, what do you call that? Neuroses into depression. They both consumed themselves with hatred. They went from such extreme love, making 4 children, beautiful children, almost 5, to extreme hate, divorce when I was 10, and they don't even speak anymore. Neither do my siblings. It is that kind of pain, you know, that needs to change. It's that kind of, I'm going to let it fester instead of get some antibiotics. I'm going to bitch about it and keep it that salty. You know, salt, sugar, sex, we all crave it, you know, and you're like, you know, I'm going to stay salty. Instead of sugar and spice and everything nice, you're going to go back to that same memory and be like, yeah, see, that's what stopped me. And you'll tell your sad story and you'll tell it well. You'll be like, man, I was doing so good. And then I got in that car accident in 95 and everything else changed. You think you're the only one that's had a car accident? How did you plastic pocket challenge? What the fuck? Trash cans right there. You think you're the only one that's ever had an accident? That could have been the beginning of your story. You could have hacked happy and said, from here on out, I said that's enough. And you'll have enough. I think I said it last week or 2 weeks ago when I said the E word, but you'll be like, this is enough. I'm enough of my weed. I've had enough of my weed. I've had enough of my sitting. I had enough of my staying. I had enough of my hesitation. I had enough of my fear, where I was just like, no way, bro. Let's see what happens. Trash. Let's see what happens when I actually give my full effort. Let's see what happens, how I can hack my happiness when I stood right here at this sign and I was depressed, and I Google hacked it about 3 years ago, and I said, I just lost a child, unborn baby, unwanted abortion. I'm shattered alive, bro. Like nothing will ever be the same for me. And slowly it's eased, and I feel normal. I'm not in depression anymore, but I feel that I can pull that memory out of that file folder and say, man, dude, that was a tough one. And it'll always be here, right here in my heart. It'll always hurt, you know, but I also have a life to live, right? I'm still alive. You don't honor the dead by dying, right? You honor the dead by living. And that's all he was trying to say. Steve Jobs on his deathbed was like, you can pay someone to drive for you, right? But you can't pay somebody to take the sickness away from you. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I paid you, say, here, what's the one thing that gives you your time value? The guy goes, okay, if I give you $1 million, would you take it? And you'd be like, hell yeah, I'll take it. Give me that $1 million right now, bro. And I'm like, but you die tomorrow. And you'd be like, wait, what? Is $1 million worth anything if you only have 24 hours to live, right? It didn't matter the amount of money that it is. It's the quality. And rich people, they don't buy on price, they buy on value. And you got to start valuing your time. That's it. All the fake dopamines, being on this, get off of it. Matter of fact, don't even finish the rest of my show, bro. Just sit there and give yourself some peace time. That doesn't have to do with a fucking, a dopamine, a phone, another thought, a chasing it. In Vipsanas, in Eastern cultures, India, Asia, Japan, right? They all have some sort of form of Buddhism to center themselves, to be like, I actually am alive right now, you know, not just in my life, but I am alive. And to transfer that kind of energy to yourself, because it's already there, you know, but not giving it over to the file folder, but giving it to yourself, bro, is so much more tremendous than I've ever experienced. I don't give myself enough credit because, you know, I'm still living it, right? I'm still experiencing it. I'm still trying to do the best that I can with what I got. But if I'm in constant comparison, right? If I'm like, well, I don't make as much money as my brother, or, you know, yeah, that's cool and all, but it would have been better if, or maybe I didn't do anything at all, then I'm for sure angry at myself. And I just got sick of being tired. I got sick of being like, man, I should have talked to that hot girl and just talked to her. Now my whole story changed. Now I actually did something, and now the whole outcome has changed because I put something different in it. Some catalyst, some action. You got to sprinkle some borax on it. You know, I've been watching them make gold. You got to get some activation on top of it. And then we know. Yep, then we grow. We allow ourselves the process of development. We allow ourselves to sit there with our thoughts and not think nothing at all. Vipsana this bitch. Sit there for 10 days, eating nothing but vegetables, being quiet, not masturbating, not being near women. The men and women are separate, and you just sit there and you watch your thoughts flicker to and fro. You know, fuck, man, I'm all over the place. I was thinking about family. I was thinking about bills. Shit, I was thinking about that last post. And we run all the way around in this house of our minds, only to get lost in the end. We haven't been hacking it. And that's why I'm trying to tell you this. You know, I'm trying because no one's watching, but maybe somebody needs it later. You know, maybe somebody was like, I'm not feeling happy right now. How do I hack it? Well, first of all, get in the light. You know, that's going to turn your melatonin into serotonin. You got to biohack yourself a little bit too. There's certain berries, blueberries, walnuts, that helps brain function, right? Stillness helps. Hold on. Smoke. I got that smoke belly. But yeah, stillness helps. Concentration. You want to be able to concentrate on something, not let your mind go in 5 fucking different directions and then take your emotions all over the place and just ride an emotional roller coaster of thoughts and sensations all day. We live in our mind far too much, man. And then as soon as it was time to get out of our mind, guess what we do? We get on a fucking app. We give our free time away, unconsciously or consciously, just to soothe ourselves. And that's a mistake, I'm telling you right now. A big mistake. Here, let's take a shot. Oh, aloha. One more. Here we go. Takes the shot. I'll come back. Takes the shot. One more. See how we get? Just try it again. I love it, bro. I love it. I love that he keeps taking shots, man. That he's trying to make the shot. And that's all we're all trying to do. We're trying to live our blessed lives. And I'm trying to tell you, it's not by chasing these things. I think that's going to be the scariest thing. And I found that through this guy, the professor of happy or whatever they call him from Harvard, to hack yourself, to sit there and be like, there's some things we chase thinking that we're going to alleviate some kind of pain, right? Well, if I had more money, that would change. And then I give you all the money, but I take away your time, and then that changes. And then if you have all the money, just like the billionaire Steve Jobs, then you're going to need the health. Come on. Huh. So you can't pay somebody to be sick for you. Huh. And if you could, would you do that to somebody? I know I got a bad car with a bad engine. I can't sell a lemon to someone else. Not wholeheartedly. Not in my soul. It wouldn't be right. And that's what it is. It's not right to give someone else your sickness. You can't sell it to them. They can't inherit it. And they can't replace you in the hospital. So now you're back to being that one-man army and son. I'm a one-man army A son. I never been taken out. I keep MCs looking out. You got to get your lyrics on shirts, bro. And there it is. You're on the lookout for your ultimate happiness. And odds are you're chasing it and not getting it. And the only reason we're not getting it is because we don't know how to hack it. We don't know how to hack our own lives. We don't know how to biohack ourselves. It's true. We don't know how to break cycles. We're stuck. And the moment we get a chance to shine, as soon as we break free from the shadows and go right into the shine, we stay inside. We don't exercise. We don't have any groups to get with. We don't even have any events that we're throwing. And we're not doing nothing. We're sitting doing nothing. We watched our lives go by. And I think that is the most dangerous decision to make. To really be happy. I think he just made one. To really be happy, to make the shot, is just showing up. I remember, I'm one of those kids, bro, when we were in, what's it called? G.I. Joe. And they said, 50% of life is just showing up. And you'd be like, yeah, man. Yeah, more than meets the eye, as they used to say in Transformers. The Transformers were my favorite cartoons, man, growing up. And you are more than meets the eye. You are more than meets your thoughts. You are a being that's human. And this being human is what the process we should be flipping. I'm allowed to be human and breathe and be outside right now. I missed it yesterday, not being able to get up and go. Fuck, I got up early. I saw the sunrise again. I even did a couple laps already without you guys. Like, fuck that. I'm outside. We outside, But more importantly, I'm alive. And in this moment, I realize that I'm human, or that I'm being a human, and that I'm actually a being on a cool planet that just so happens to stay warm enough during the winters for me to be able to walk around in my Saints Addiction hoodie, smoking a blunt with my shades on, bro. I want to thank Craig from Finland for calling me. Thanks for reaching out, bro. I want to thank my boy from Germany. He's out there. Woo, yeah. Germany keeps reaching out from Thailand, sending me photos, brought the Frisbee. We're all Frisbee addicts here. And the rest of everyone, my family, for putting up with my dumbass all these years and allowing me to grow, allowing me to use the car, allowing me to crash on the couch, giving me some money here and there, giving me a credit card, helping me out. I'm grateful. So, I didn't practice my faith as much as I should have. I haven't really got to celebrate my family as much as I should have. I definitely celebrate my friends, but sometimes I might fall out with them. And I got to ask myself, how much am I being of service? So Saintsgiving, I'm going to join our guys over at Organized. Shout out to Justin Roberts. He's kicking ass, taking names. The last time we fed the homeless, homeboy did a fucking full bird, bro. Like a Thanksgiving fucking Christmas meal out there for the homeless. So it's Friday today. Is it still for a second Friday? So third Sunday, right? We'll be feeding the homeless and being of service. And that's altruistic, bro. Not intristic, not just for me. It's altruistic. You want to get out of your head, bro? You waited to the end? Your boy Marky Saint saved it for you? Give and don't expect anything in return. Because then you have validity in being a better human. Then you have the proof to yourself that you didn't just serve yourself. And in that act, right, of giving, right, being of service, you become happier. You appreciate the things you've been ignoring the whole time, right? All of us, we be ignoring shit. We be like, what are you talking about? Where did my... Oh, there it is. It gains more appreciation. That gratitude shows up, and that's exactly what it is. Every time I feed the homeless, I'm like, shit, my problems ain't nowhere near close to what's going on with some of these folks, So, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful I left this country. I'm grateful I got to meet people from around the world, and I'm grateful that I can wear my ideas and I do what I say I'm going to do. That I can count on. I can count on my bravery. I can count on my willpower. I am intrepid, and in that I started to learn to take some chances to learn my shadow, do the shadow work, right? Do the shadow work, get to know myself, to my own self be true, whether it's nobler in the mind, and not just be noble in my mind, but have full-on evaluations, like how much weed did you smoke today? What patterns did you break? The year before last was all about doing something different every day. Like the challenge was to break the cycle, break the monotony, challenge myself to go see a friend I haven't seen in a long time, or go eat at a new place, or, make a new phone call, So dig yourself out, call those people, reinforce your friendships, hold your family near and dear. Time is equal to all of us, but the quality of it is not. And that's how you hack happiness. That's your morning marijuana motivation. If you got anything out of this, you already know, like, share, subscribe below. But peace and love. Yeah. And as always, Chigaton. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side. The other side of your fear. Whatever automatic negative thoughts, the ants that you got to kill, you got to kill those automatic negative thoughts. Why not replace it with, I don't have to work out. I get to go outside. What a blessing, and it's not a stressing, I don't feel nails on a chalkboard. I feel giddy like a fucking puppy, like, oh, we're grabbing the Frisbee, time to go, tail wagging, and it does heighten. If you're at homeostasis, then you're never heightened. You're just satiated. That means you're desensitized. that means you don't get to go up or down. It's kind of like being on lithium or SSRIs, the serotonin reuptake inhibitors, bro. If you're inhibiting yourself from being happy, it's hard to rev back up. To get that brain to wake back up and be happy, and then you're in the cycle. That's what you're looking at on the thumbnail, by the way. That's the addiction cycle. You can see the weed and the cocaine in the middle of that, and our brain trying to fix ourselves, and then it tries to heal itself by only hurting itself. And we go into this vicious cycle that most of us never get to leave, and most of us never get to live or feel alive, really alive, because we're in that pattern, that holding pattern right there. So that's a screenshot of everyone's brain, you know, self-medicating, everyone. And but some of us, like I said, it could be that waitress, it could be the checkout girl, or somebody that's genuine, somebody that's Aito, like I know, another good friend of mine, you know. It's support, it's connection. It keeps us feeling alive and in our lives, in the moment, in the power of now. Those are the people that are going to live the most satisfactory lives. Notice that I'm not talking about money. Notice that I'm not talking about sex, sugar, or salt. You know, all of those things are satiated feelings, sensations, things that we crave, cravings. But real realities, awakenings, to know that you can make yourself happy just by looking at the pigeons fly. And that's what, it's no lie, man. I'm literally was suicidal. I was literally depressed multiple times in my life. Have some stories that most people would be like, no fucking way. At the same time, I reach in the same pocket, that left pocket of memories, and I say, you know what? I did live, though. At 45, God willing, seeing it in April, I'm 44, going to be 45. I probably die at 90. I've lived half of my life, but I lived it. Do you get it? Like I experimented. I got some stories to tell. It's like when we used to walk around the cars. My wheels, my knees, my wheels. Whew. Saint Slides, Saint Shades. You know, to get to that level, now Intersect.ai, you guys should check out the new website. It looks so good. And our new Aura voice, she's so sexy, bro, with her English accent. Anyway, AI voice stuff. To be able to be like, what a time to be alive. That robots are gonna be walking the street. That we got chips that processes all the internet speed on one chip. Everybody's internet can go through one chip. Fuck, the world's internet's going through one chip, bro. And robots are coming. What a time to be alive. And what a time to get a tribe. So just like the guys at Home Math and the guy that wrote the book, what is it? No More Mr. Nice Guy. You know, everybody kind of wants to start figuring out girls or figuring out the opposite sex, or even these guys that have full-on master's degrees at Harvard. That's what these are, master students. They're trying to figure out, what is this emotion? And then it comes to go. I'm glad I stayed on the show. I'm gonna grab some more motivated juice here. Give me some water. Check this out. When you're in love, there's a difference between happiness and love. So you don't want to be in love, right? And I told someone that. He's like, I'd rather be addicted to happy than cocaine, right? Okay, so one is a chemical that goes in your brain and you pretend that it doesn't drive you insane, and then you do your best that you can with it, right? There's one that you can instantly choose to put up your nose and or in your veins or whatever the fuck you do, or smoke it, right, to get to that level, right? All of us have a level. All of us want to be on that level, and can choose the level, right? So there's like Conor McGregor. I got all the money in the world, and it still didn't make me happy. I'm trying to get even more happy, and there's not enough belts. I got 2 belts. There's not enough championships. There's not enough knockouts. I need cocaine. There's not enough cocaine. I'm getting fat. I'm making poor decisions. I'm not living as happy as I could be. At Saints Addiction, bro, I wanted to be as happy as I could be. No lie, no shit, bro. And I was just thinking this. Of course you want to do boats and hoes. Of course you want to be on the Lamborghini yacht with Conor McGregor, with all the boats and hoes and coke that you could ever shake your stick at. But I'm here to tell you, those girls don't love you. So now you got this synthetic love. Sure, you're fucking something that looks good, but does it feel good? Right? Does it stay good? You know, every time I hug my mom, that's a real hug, bro. I'm glad she's alive. I just got off the phone with my homie, and both his grandma and his mom died within a month of each other. He's calling me, still thanking me for being there for him in his time of need. I didn't need anything. I'm good on all that, actually. You know, I need my sobriety. You know, and you don't have to thank me. I've given a lot of things. You know, I remember one dude who's printing shirts for me. He's about to get evicted, and I just came up on a bunch of money, so I gave him $1,000. I never saw him again. And then there's people that probably say that for me and weed, and be like, "Oh, Mark did me dirty. You know, I was supposed to do the summer weed festival, and he only paid us in weed. He didn't give me the money. I still owe $200 to one and $1,500 to the other, and I know my debts, and I'm sure I'm not the only one with debts and demerits and shortcomings and shit. I'm only 5'7", so you know, all of us have something, right? Like all of us have something that plagues us, that keeps us from being our true happy. And oh, by the way, this is true happy right here. This being in the sunshine and getting to use this, what do you call these, bike racks on my back. Oh my God, it's so lovely. It's like a massage. Anyway, I highly recommend it. But you're going to do what you're going to want to do. You're going to do just like every other human. You're going to go from fire to fire and put them out. You're going to be a firefighter the rest of your life, constantly thinking about where's the next fire, staying in your head in emergency mode. That vibration is in everyone, but that's also contagious. And why share that vibe? Why not share a happy vibe? You know, I'm just curious, you know, with yourself even, you know, why not? If you're already living in dystopia, if you're already living with an avatar, if you're already living with AI, you know, you already want your surrogate to go into work for you. Remember, she's got no wrinkles. She looks like she's 20 always, you know, and then you go look in the mirror and then you're dissatisfied because you look nowhere near a fake image, and it perpetuates this not unholiness, but you're unfulfilled. The hole is not filled. We compare constantly, especially women, you know, and we're all jockeying for position, you know. It was crazy to see homeboy do the gold digger trick on him, because like as soon as they saw him, they started punking him. They looked at him like, if it was a really strong male, not some beta with a car, if it's a beta male with a cool car, they started telling them, you need to buy me a car. You need to buy, this is my car, and you need to buy me a bag, and you need to give me 10 grand right now. I want $100,000 right now. It's like, who would you talk to like that? Only people that you thought you could intimidate. You know, only people that you thought were below you. Only people that you judged as less. But, you know, as soon as it was time to get in the car, all of a sudden you wanted more. You know, the switch up is real with everyone. The greed shows up. You know, that's the difference between sweat equity and greed equity. For greed equity, you're only going to work when there's a dollar attached to it. Yeah, how much do I make, right? For Joe Rogan, it was like, wait, you telling me I can have me and my friends to sit ringside every fight and all you want me to do is talk? Done. He did the first 12 UFCs for free. And he was already on TV. He could have been saying, you know what, give me 50 grand or I'm not going to do it, right? Perfect attitude to get fired. Perfect attitude to not get hired. That's the shit that people go like, you're a lot harder to work with. You know, that person's not going to ever be happy. And then you don't want them on your team because it'll bleed profusely. It'll be all over everything, bro. I'm not joking. Hemorrhage, full on hemorrhage. You're asking to build a team, not only in business, but in friendships. You need a community, literally, to stay alive. It's a part of human function. You could have all the cool gadgets, but if you don't get to show it to your friends, it's not worth it. I was watching Ken and Peele. Is it Ken and Peele or whatever those guys' names are? They were doing an episode where Homeboy showed up and he had a hat, right? And you remember how everybody kept the lid under the hat, like they had the sticker still on it. And Homeboy came up and he had the tag on it. So he came up to him and he was just like, I see everything you got on, my nigga. I see everything you got on, you know? Easy Flea, Axel Foley, you know? So he got jealous. The next day, he comes up, and now the dude has everything he had, but now it's in a plastic bag, and he's literally wearing it like it came out of the box. The next day, Homeboy showed up, and it was already in a box, in a case, like it was a championship hat, and he was wearing it all on his chin, and he went to go show it off, and Homeboy was already wearing a whole factory worker, a Japanese or a Vietnamese fucking worker on a sewing machine. It was like, who's got the newest of the newest of the new? Well, my hat's so new, it's still got a sticker on it. Oh, yeah? Well, my hat's still new. It's got plastic on it. Oh, yeah? Well, my hat's so new, I got it in a box, sealed. And, oh, yeah, my hat's still new. She's still working on it on a sewing machine above me. It's enough. The jealousy is enough. The envy is enough. You know, you'll never be enough. And then that sucks up our happy, and it sucks up our time. And then we're going like, what just happened here? How do I get it back? How do I win in this thing called life? And I'm just telling you, bro, it's been man. Just telling myself to breathe means I take physical control over me. I take control over my mind and my emotions and my body at the same time. I biohack myself. I know when I can ruminate. I know when, oh, I shouldn't have said that, and man, I wish I would have did differently, and I didn't mean it because I was hungry. You do it too. But spending time on the old place, right? Monday quarterbacking myself every day, going like, you shouldn't have thrown that interception. You should have said that differently. You should have been more patient. You know, you should have been more understanding. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? I want to be, I did it. And remember that moment when I was going to argue with my business partner the other day? I listened. And they want to feel heard too. And they had validity. I was just seeing it differently. And that happens, you know? And to be okay with differences. You know, to be okay. I'm going to give me my pull-ups in. I should have grabbed my water. To be okay with change. To be an ambassador of change. To embrace and drive change. That's a choice. To say, you know what? This, and this has got to go. I'm sure it's on your New Year's list. It's already the 10th, right? We're already a third of the way through this month. I swear, yet last weekend was just fucking First Friday and New Year's. That's what time does. And I swear I was indoors all day because I had to fucking sit there in front of the computer, and I missed it, bro. I missed being out in the sunshine, being able to swirl my hips, and be able to feel my skin, and I can feel the sun warm me up like a hug, and it starts me off way better than the guy that's in a cubicle. I fought my way out of that cubicle. I fought my way out of the Findlay Toyota cubicle to go travel the world, and just said, fuck it. Take the shot. Last year, traveling the world without no money, couch surfing the world for a year without no money. Bro, come on now. Everybody wants to, but who actually does it? Go look at my files. You can read them yourself. I just was like, why do I hesitate? Why not me? You know, they kept saying, why not in Thailand? Why not? You know, get my motivated juice, baby. You know, why not me? Why not my ideas? Why not my team? You know, why not the life that I can see? And I could start to feel it. It scared me. You know, it scared me. And it's been 15 years of hard work, but I got to be honest, it was developing me too. You know, learning how to do vendor spacing and learning how to throw events and hell, maybe even throw a festival. You know, like these are things that I say I do. And because I did them, check this out. I got another one for you. Because I did that, now guess what? I have experience at it. And now guess what? Because I'm throwing festivals, I can now get festival orders for t-shirts. So when somebody needs 12,000 shirts for a festival, they'll use me for printing. How cool is that? You know what I mean? And only because I threw a festival was I allowed to talk to people about festival stuff. You know what I mean? And only because I left the world do I have friends that call me from Finland. What's the other one called? Germany. You know, all of them, bro. Like, all of them. They're all calling me, and it gives me a boost. He talks about that self-fulfilling dopamine. You want natural dopamine to happen? Throw the 20 bucks in your little pocket. When the winter's over, you reach in. Man, I didn't know I left myself a 50. You know what I mean? Like, preempting yourself, not just even with money, right? Not even just with delayed gratification and achievements. Just that, ooh, I get to be outside. Ooh, I get to see my friends. They're still alive. And for the friends that have passed away, and there are many, you know, I'm living for them too. You know, Terry's Worley, I'm living for you. You know, he's like, Mark, you're about to turn 40. You're going to have more pussy than you've ever had in your whole life. It's like one of the last things he ever said to me. And then who else? Shout out to Chris Sua Apia. You know, one of my good buddies. People I've been on the couch with, you know, people I've been in hard times with and seen them grow up and do their thing. And that's me. Have a good morning. Little cute dog. But, yeah, you know, defining me. Defining the way I want my life to be instead of life defining it to me or telling me what to do. Last I checked, here, I'm about to do my pull-ups. There's an Anarchy A on my back. And to me, it just meant real freedom. You know, freedom from the government. You know, freedom from finances. You know, freedom during my time and my moments. You know, if I want to accelerate it, I can. And I will. When I will it, with my willpower. And in that, I was like, you know what? That feels better than depression. Ah, yes. The adult jungle gym. That feels better than non-action. You know what I mean, bro? Like, hacking this, man. So to pre-hack or hack yourself or hack the planet, there's so many ways. I just Googled it. Seriously. How do you cure depression? Ask ChatGPT. Figure it out for me. And it's going to tell you the same thing. Drink plenty of water. You know, diet of the mind, diet of the body, diet of your life, you know. This guy's like, read more. And don't just read junk. Like, read it from a real book and not off your phone. But, like, being concentrated, you know. Like, to be able to harness your mind and say, okay, I'm going to do this. And not try to run away from it. Not try to get it to leave or any of these things. They're doing construction past me. I'm not going to see him. All day long, it's like me and this dude going back and forth. I try like walking away, and then he'll come back. Wow. So much action in the valley. So much action in the valley, you know? Got action in our minds, action in our lives. Got things backing up. It's a truck. Everywhere I look, bro. Orange cones, man. Orange cones. So, anyway, let's get a couple pull-ups in. Whew. Oh. Man alive. I think that's the most I appreciate about my life is these quiet times. The only reason I can do the show is because I have a phone and it's not blowing up right now. But, you know, I also have hips that need to be stretched out. I got shoulders that are out of whack. You know, I check in with my body. You know, this is the vehicle, man. And then the juice, the motivated juice, is the mind, because you're getting operated. And anybody that's ever tried, I remember quitting smoking, and it was almost like my hand took over my brain. My reward center was saying more than my consciousness, if you know what I mean. Saints addiction, baby. Saints addiction. You got to make some choices. And in those decisions, I decided to do more mushrooms instead. Hello. And I don't even get to do it that often. Like maybe once every 6 months. I try to do it once a month, or at least some LSD or some kind of psychedelics for me to decode me, but that's not always happening. But I will exercise these demons. I won't let them destroy me. I won't be pinned on my back. I will fight back. I will chew at your ankles. I will swing for the fences, and I'm never giving up. I'm giving as much effort as my addictions are and my habits are to my patterns. If I give it that much energy, that was like the realest thing I've ever said to myself was, I was like, bro, my dad said, if it was a hot girl across town, you'd find a way. You'd find a way. You would. If it mattered enough to you, and it does. Like cigarettes matter to you more than your skin, your teeth, and your health, more than the way you smell, more than the way you come across to people. People that smoke cigarettes are pessimistic by nature, and there we are. Are we spreading our happiness? Are we finding it really and not chasing visions? I mean, you can chase manifestations and visions, but you want to chase purpose. And it's purpose that binds us. It's purpose that gets us out of bed every morning. It's purpose that helps us shine. Shine. You know what I mean? Like, bro. And when you have it, you'll have full-on ignition. You'll have the ability to see no limitations and be unfuckwithable and be able to do the things that you have in your mind. That's what is important, to drive the mind, to make it do the things that we want our bodies to do, and the things that we can see us doing, or maybe not even see, but attempt. It's worth living. So that's been my hour. That's been my morning motivation. If you got anything out of this, you already know to like, share, and subscribe below. I already said goodbye a half hour ago. So that's the show. I'm gonna go get the rest of my reps in. Oh, feels so much better. mensworkouttakes.com on Instagram. Let's flex it out, baby. Let's flex it out, baby. Come on now. Come on now. They don't want none of this. But you will. You want to be happy, you want to be fulfilled, and you want to fulfill your potential. So that's me. That's it. If you want any of this, Saints Addiction hoodie, $100, all over print. I'll design one, whip one out for you. Saint Shades sold separately. I wholesale these. I think they're $40 retail. Saint Slides from South Korea. Annyeonghaseyo. I think these are like $60 or $80. And Hustle sold separately, bro. I don't know what else to tell you. I can give you the recipe. I can't make you bake it. You know, you can only lead them to the water. I can't make you drink it. And it inspires me because I've seen it literally time and time again. So, Plastic Pocket Challenge. Go be free. Have peace. Just breathe. Have purpose.